you have questions, so whatever you ask, I'll answer.
Wow. So this is your setup over at Flores?
Yeah. I monitor 6 different ham radio bands.
Yeah.
One is the stake net. So I'm online to the stake, whatever the stake does.
Yeah.
In the event of an emergency. It's not active now because there's nothing going on. This is repeater in Redlands.
Oh yeah.
That I listen to. This is digital. This goes worldwide. And then this is just two more local channels.
I've got a neighbor that has a ham radio, but he's got antennas just all over the place.
More than likely, he's probably on what's called HF, high frequency.
Yeah.
There's HF, VHF, UHF. HF is the really low frequency stuff that goes all over the world too.
Oh.
But usually it's quite a bit more expensive equipment, and I'm poor, so I can't afford that.
Oh, you say his equipment is more expensive than this?
Well, I'm saying he's probably on HF stuff. If he's got more antennas.
Yeah.
I have 3 antennas there sitting up on the top there. You didn't notice probably when you came in.
I didn't.
But they're just on the roof up there.
Oh.
But they're all. I mean, the tallest one's maybe this tall, so they're not huge.
Oh, his is good 30 feet in the air.
Yeah, he's probably working a different way, different frequencies and stuff. If it's the one that's on top of a tower with the things sticking out and all that.
Yeah.
That's called HF. That's usually, like I said, it goes around the world. My digital radio, the one in the middle there, can actually go, as long as we have internet.
Yeah.
I can talk the world with that. I've talked to China. I've talked to Europe.
Oh wow.
I mean, a lot of different places.
Is it take a minute to try to hook up with people way over there?
Only when they're not talking. Let's see if anybody's I talked to Mike McDonald.
Yeah, he's in Arizona, right?
Yeah, we just talked this yesterday, and Justin Watkins. 3 of us still talk.
Oh, wow.
So, and he's in Kentucky.
Yeah. Oh, brother Watkins in Kentucky, or is it Kansas? I think it's Kansas.
I know it's somewhere back there.
Yeah.
I know it's not here. Yeah, and Mike McDonald, Brother McDonald, just joined us last night.
Oh.
For the first time. We've got an open spot on Wednesdays at 7, just for the 3 of us. We talk, say hi, how's things going.
Rage, KO4 UKW, do you copy?
That's a call sign that they just started?
That's a call sign. Mine is W6IAA.
I see it. Amateur radio. Ooh, let me get a shot of that before. That looks beautiful. Oh, it's not. I thought it was the... It's just the LED lights around it.
Yeah.
You know those old school, what do they call it? That's what I thought that was. So, Brother Flores, the importance... I'm trying to wrap my head around the importance of the ham radio. So this is assuming that a satellite goes down, all the cells...
Yeah, if... the people that are anti-radio, let's put it that way, are the ones that believe in those cell phones. Cell phones. Why would I talk to Brother McDonald in Arizona when I just pick up the phone and we talk on the phone?
Exactly.
In the event of an emergency, those aren't going to work.
Right.
All the cell towers probably will still be up. You still might be able to use the phones, but in the event of a real major disaster, people are going to be so crazy they're not going to think about using their phones.
Right.
They're not going to know who do you call. Who would you call on the phone? On the radio, you're set up to specifics.
JJ708W. I heard someone in there, but...
His voice sounds like he's in Europe somewhere, or who knows. This morning, there were people talking from Scotland and all over the world. And I can talk to any one of those that starts talking. They're talking to somebody else. I can kind of interject and jump in there and say hi to them and all that kind of stuff. That's usually what people do. Conversations are usually pretty quick because you don't want to tie that up either. And most of those people that you talk
What do
to,
What do you mean tie up?
well, as long as I hold the mic key down,
Nobody.
there's-
The other line can't talk.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
There's only one. It's only one way, like that.
Oh.
That's why I monitor. I've got a bunch of walkie-talkies too that I monitor. This is my primary for local
Yeah.
use. This little one.
Oh, the yellow one.
Yeah, it's little, but it's powerful. I can extend the antenna, and I can actually antennas are everything for when it comes to radio.
Yeah.
So the better antenna you have, the better communications you'll have. But this one is set up all for local, not digital anything. It's just it's got the church stuff on it, and in fact, I'm not sure you're aware, but the church has many channels, lots of channels.
Yeah.
We're assigned the one that we talk on.
Yeah.
This one that I call LBS Net. It's actually a it's called a simplex channel. It's just a channel itself. It's in megahertz, 145.6.
Disaster preparedness, and that's exactly what that is, right?
I've been using this for a long time. I've got others, but was set up for LA originally. Since I moved out here, I haven't made a new thing. But this has all my. You have to have a Communications Commission license.
Yeah.
I have two. One is for small radios that are used for local stuff.
Yeah.
My other is for the ham radios, and I can go worldwide with what I have. This is the net that I do every Sunday night. Been doing it for a while, as you can tell. We have to keep logs.
It's like a check-in.
Well, no, these are logs. This just says I was on radio. It's all me. I have. Let's see.
Will you document everything that you?
Because you're with your license through the FCC.
Yeah.
Federal.
Yeah.
So yes, you have to document everything. Not that I've never been checked. But put that up here. The FCC is they're open to come into my property.
Yeah.
And say I want to see your logs. You're a hammer operator. They'll know my call sign. My license is posted. They're up there. Both of them are up there.
I see it. Yeah.
They come in. You have to have your license posted. They have to have this. You have to have a log. Anytime you've talked with anybody. So these are the logs just for the church net. This is what I'm bringing up right now is the check-in for the stake. And at the end of all of this, I think it's this one. At the end of this, I have a very critical question for you.
Uh-oh. That means I'm gonna flunk it.
Not yet. This is, it takes a minute to come up. Can you get you a bottle of water or anything?
Oh, I'm okay. Thank you. Okay. Alpha Bravo. Oh, I remember all those things from military.
Yeah, that's pretty much what you're supposed to use. A lot of people don't. They'll make it up as they go along. R is Robert, B is boy.
Yeah.
But that's really not the case. That's the official universal military alphabet.
Yeah.
Why is this taking so long? Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is my check-in. This was for
Those are different call signs you have right there?
these call signs belong to these people.
Yeah.
These are all in our ward. This group, Garth Bogue, Ellen. I just list the first name. Frank's got his wife and his daughter.
Nice.
Ellen, whatever his last name is. But anyway, these are the only people that I have listed from our ward.
Yeah.
And then I have Crafton Hills. Crafton Hills doesn't have anybody that's available, or that talks on the ham radio. Lagonia has none, primarily because they speak Spanish. And I've tried to get these people to get somebody to do it, but they just don't. Mill Creek, Wayne is who started this, and he's been sick out with cancer for a year and a half now.
Oh, that's the guy you were telling me about.
Yeah, Wayne Bogue.
Yeah.
And then these people are there. I've got people in Pioneer, Prospect, Smiley Park.
Do we have the most people?
Yes.
Oh wow.
In our ward.
Yeah.
But you can see these X's.
Uh-huh.
On any given Sunday, I've got maybe 4 that check in.
Yeah.
Maybe 5. 3 this last weekend. And I even have 2 from a San Bernardino unit, main unit. So San Bernardino Stake. I've got these 2 check in, and I've got one from Calamasa that checks in, also into our net. They're not part of our stake, but they're part of our net.
Yeah.
So they check in, and I and you can see this guy checks in every Sunday. But that's what that is.
When they check in, what do they just tell you you're coming over loud and clear?
I start out the net by saying there will be an exercise of the Redlands emergency. It's ERC net, emergency response communication. Anyway, and then I have a script I read, basically to hear, that just lets them know we're starting, and then they should all be on air and listen monitoring. So they should be doing. So I get through this and I check them off. I say like Garth Bogue, KI6WYZ, Garth, are you available? He says, yes, I'm here, I'm checking in. I let him know that his signal is clear.
Yeah.
Whether or not, because sometimes they're kind of down in the mud, they're a little scratchy, and it's hard to hear them. So we have these frequencies that we operate on.
Yeah.
Are called simplex. That means I'm calling radio to radio. That's it. We're not using anything. There are repeaters out there too where I can talk to, like Redlands, my Redlands 20 down here. This is a repeater.
Yeah.
And I can talk to the Redlands repeater, and I can talk pretty much all over most of California. Or I should say, every time you key down, they all hear that.
Yeah.
So that lets me talk further. The stake has Syra. That's a church-run repeater group. Unfortunately, they don't work well here, and they don't have a lot of people to maintain them. So they don't work like the big ones do. I'm involved with a system called Papa system. I'm not really sure what that stands for, but that's just what they call themselves. It's Papa system. But that one covers most of Southern California.
Oh.
In fact, most of California, period, because they go all the way north now too. So if I want to talk to somebody in San Diego,
yeah,
I can do that. If I want to talk to somebody out in what's the island?
Hawaii.
No, not Hawaii. Well, actually, yeah, but not different way to get to Hawaii. I've never talked to anybody out in Hawaii, but I've talked to people elsewhere. Anyway, it just depends. That's why I have 3 radios here, because I use them differently. Each one allows me to do something different. This has 50 watts of power. This has 50 watts of power. This one has 25 watts of power.
Go ahead.
This one I use mostly for local stuff.
Yeah.
Because I can hit the repeaters that are around here with little 25 watts of power. So if I want to talk locally, I can use that. I can actually use my walkie-talkies for that.
You said the one in the middle is worldwide, right?
Well, that's a digital, and there's somebody on there right now.
This enhanced to just so.
Other than their accent, can you tell where they're from?
Usually somebody says where they're from.
Oh.
They'll just say thank you for I've had people. I've had it on this morning earlier because I was working on this monitor.
What is that, Brother Flores?
That's just a monitor basically. This is my Mac, my computer. It's a computer.
What is all the signals?
The signal stuff is I'm setting up for. This is a new software package I just picked up. This monitors for me signal strength and everything else of what's going on out there.
Oh.
It's just a monitor. That's all it is. There's a little box in the back that does basically I've got software that goes through talks to the little box, and it lets me monitor.
Sounds like the ocean.
Sounds like that.
The ocean almost.
Well, yeah, it's just static is all it is. See, this is let's go here.
Friday night, partly cloudy.
That's the U.S. National Weather
Lows
Service.
55
It sounds familiar.
It's just broadcasting.
Yeah.
I'm just monitoring.
Yeah.
This is like, this is basically the same as, having a little shortwave radio like they used to do, whatever.
Yeah.
But the weather service one broadcasts for everything, for everybody. So I have it on all my radios, so I can listen to the weather on all my radios wherever I'm at. I mean, that gives that's weather for here, for this area.
Yeah.
So, but this is a new software package and I'm just setting it up. So I've only got a couple of things that I'm got scheduled to listen to. The weather service is one, but that's usually the first one I always put on just because it's easy.
Oh.
But each one of these boxes means something different. This is called a waterfall. This is the actual amplitude of the signal, and then that's the audio portion of it. And then this is the same. This is a small section of that.
Oh.
Again, I'm just learning this, so this is brand new to me. But there's a lot of things you do. You set your frequencies in here. How wide or how much of the frequency? It's called bandwidth.
Yeah.
And then that says center frequency. So wherever the center is what those numbers tell you. Again, that's just something I've just started working with. So,
Man, I was just thinking about all this equipment, Brother Flores. I love it, and I don't think everybody would know the importance of it until everything went down. But if everything went down, that means we're in serious trouble.
Yeah, to a point. When you talk about disaster preparedness, when I talk about it, it's basically several issues. It's not just being prepared, whatever that means by definition, but preparedness. I've got a closet in the house. I've got food storage. Most of us should have food storage.
Yeah.
We used to we were asked by the first presidency a long time ago to have a year's supply.
Yeah.
And then they bumped that up to 2 years. I listen to a lot of podcasts on preparedness and stuff like that. And the current theme for most of the podcasts out there right now is critical availability of goods. You know what we went through a year and a half ago when COVID hit?
Oh yeah.
No toilet paper, no paper towels.
Yeah.
But yet the company with the manufacturers still pumped that out as fast as they could. No different than they were before.
Right.
They never stopped. No bomb ever went off in the toilet paper factories. Everybody just bought it up and hoarded it.
Yeah.
Now we are prepared for that. We have toilet paper and paper towels and stuff. I have water. I have protection at various places in my house where I might end up being. I've got a 4-camera surveillance. I got to turn off. I got a 4-camera surveillance system around the outside of my house.
Oh wow.
So, and I can go into my closet, kind of like a safe room,
Yeah.
and turn it on and see what's going around the outside of my house. A lot of people look at me and say that I've gone overboard, but you know what? I don't think so. And the people that are called actual preppers,
Yeah.
they wouldn't think so either. In fact, I'm way behind on a lot of things. It just depends on what level you want to be. How prepared? I'm not asking you this question, but you can ask this to anybody else.
I'm not prepared. I'll tell you that right.
How prepared are you? And you can ask that question to anybody. You heard me state the statistics on Sunday.
Yeah.
We are poor. We are way down toward the bottom. Now, the church has been telling us forever to meet our neighbors, get to know them,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Why? Why do we need to know our neighbors? I'll tell you what else you need to know about your neighbors. What is it they do for a living? Because not that you may need that service, but you need to know what they may have at home. I used to run earthquake preparedness scenarios, tabletop simulation exercises.
Yeah.
And basically I would throw things at a group. It's like, you're in charge. And that's another thing. People always say like the stake president should be in charge. He could be trapped under a desk.
Right.
How's that going to help us?
Next man up.
Well, who's the next man?
Exactly.
That's the point.
Yeah.
So you have to train everybody as best as they can be. My tabletop simulation exercises used to do that. I used to take groups of 20.
Yeah.
And everybody had a role to play. They were never the same. And you might be the boss, you might be the boss, you might be in charge of whatever. You might have first aid, you might have triage, you might have, all these things come into play when you talk about preparedness. So how do you handle that? Well, you train everybody as best you can, and you hope for the best. Because right now, I firmly believe Mike McDonald, Justin Watkins, and I are able to talk to each other in the event of 3 different states' issues. I can let them know, they can let me know.
Yeah.
If, I can contact from here, talk to their families. Between the 3 of us, we're setting up another thing called WinLink, which is basically using these radios to send emails over the radio.
Oh, wow.
It's been around forever. It's been around for a long time. Brother McDonald had his whole system set up here when he was in California here for WinLink. Since he's moved, he doesn't have it set up anymore. But we're talking about getting something set back up again, so I'm going to try and get myself set up. Not hard to do, but you got to understand some things in order to make that work. Now, so I keep my door down closed most of the time too. You see what this is?
Yeah.
This is a means to communications.
Right.
When our phone systems go, I used to work for a GTE back in the olden days, and GTE phones, pay phones and all that, they all ran off the same dial tone. So every once in a while they'd have an earthquake, and the dial tone would be gone, and people started questioning, where did the dial tone go? I can pick my phone, there's nothing there. I can talk, nothing works. That's because all the pay phones on an earthquake, the handsets would drop off. They would vibrate, they'd fall off.
Yeah.
And it would suck up dial tone to that one phone. So all the payphones in the area, and we don't have that many anymore like we used to, but all the payphones in the area used to fall off hooked. And they would suck up all the dial tone. People had no way of talking. That was old school. Now we're talking digital. So everybody puts a lot of faith into these digital things.
Right.
Well, I do too, to a point. But this is the digital that I'd rather talk to and talk about. Because I know already that even though people say, well, you can just call Justin on the phone and talk to him. Yeah, that's perfectly well. That's great, but what if my phone's not working?
Right.
Well, then you're going to have to do something else. Okay, I'm rambling now, but I'll set you off into one other avenue real quick.
Sure.
What is it required to run these?
Power. Generator.
That's just a battery.
Oh, okay.
That's a battery backup. My generator is on my patio,
Yeah.
and it can power my entire house. Not that you need that. You could get a little tiny generator if you were going to just use it for your radio.
Right.
But even these have internal batteries. So when you turn them on, they come on.
Yeah.
TJX in the group.
That's this channel right now. But
36 TJX and the group. Mike, it's Paul.
this is a battery
Be
backup.
around Saturday. I heard you're not.
So, do you have spare batteries? Yeah, you can, but you have to keep them charged. Now, the next step is these are backup batteries. Just a backup battery. You can plug 2 USB things into this.
Yeah.
So your phone, 2 phones, whatever. That's solar. These I've got them plugged in right now, but these charge from the sunlight.
Right. I've got one myself.
There you go. Things are moving into this. Cars, everything's going into electric.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's pretty reliable and it's something that's pretty easily done. I mean, I got two up there, 2 batteries like that are up there that are not solar. So I have to charge them about once every couple months just to make sure that they're okay. Now, I'll tell you, we've used those here at home. It'll make it sound funny, but we'll be talking on a video call to my son in Utah.
Yeah.
And Christine's phone will power go down, or my iPad, because it says low power. What do? I come in and grab one of these and I plug it in. We don't have to stop. Just grab one of these and plug it in. It'll run it for another few hours.
Yeah.
That's called preparedness.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. That's what gets me so much with all the people that we have around. You can shut that off whenever you want.
I'm good. I like all the information you've given us.
The problem is people have become so, I think the word's complacent, where they just sit here, yeah, you know what? Robert's got antennas on his roof. He's got radios. Just come over here.
Right.
Well, I'd show you something, but you're running video, so. But like I said, we have to protect ourselves. Heavenly Father's told us to share what we have. So that's where it comes into play, where you talk to your neighbors. I got a neighbor 2 houses over that has a ham radio. He works for the bus, whatever the bus, 3 letters, not RTD, but whatever it is. He works for the bus systems. That's what he does.
Oh.
And he's licensed to work a ham radio. So we got to talking after we moved in, and he realized what was going on. So he went.
Did he know it was you?
Huh?
Did he know it was you?
Well, we just talked across the street.
Oh, okay.
You know, just we were neighbors. You know,
Yeah.
Hi, how you doing? And he realized, he saw me put my antennas up, and he came over. And he's like, "What are a ham and that?"
Yeah.
So he went out and bought an antenna.
Oh, nice.
And he's capable now too. So I know I've got somebody across the street. I don't really know members that are close. That's my list right there. And of all of that, these are my totals. There's supposed to be about 35 on here.
Yep.
I'm lucky to get 31 in this. There's 31 now, and I'm lucky to get 8 to check in. And normally it's 5, 6. Doesn't take long, but it's not my calling. It's not my calling to push on this. It's just my passion.
Yeah.
To be prepared. And this is what I know. This is what I do. It's what I have available. Not that everybody needs to have all of this in their house, but here's my most important question. Can you talk on a ham radio?
Nope.
Why not?
Because I don't know the lingo. Or
Because you don't have a license.
Oh, okay.
So, would you be interested in getting a license?
Probably not.
Why? Too hard? Too many? What makes you say probably not?
Not my passion at all.
You're right. It's probably not, and that's the case.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people that belong on this list that don't talk because they've lost their passion for
Yeah.
any particular use. That's fine.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen at some point? We've been told 100 times, if more, thousands of times.
Yeah.
It's not if, it's when.
Right.
So your calling in the church right now requires you to know the status of everyone in our ward.
I was just talking to Sister Newell about that.
Isn't that true?
I heard a podcast where the Elders Court president, I think it was a fire, I don't know what it was, but the Relief Society president and the Elders Court president, they were the ones that were
Coordinating.
trying to find out where everybody was at.
Yeah. We don't even have a phone tree. We don't even have a neighbor tree. We don't have runners. We've got kids on bikes that should know how to go get on their bike and go from here to the neighbor's house. It's maybe half a mile away.
Yeah.
We don't have any of that. We've lost all of it, essentially. Except for people like me and a few others that know we can talk. That's
Right.
all we know. So and my whenever we have a little minor earthquake, my radios go on. Nobody ever reports in because there's not a lot of damage. But what happens if there was some damage? What if we just had one member family that had something that happened their house was cracked because of this earthquake? How would we know? How would you know?
Right.
You'd have to get in touch with me to see if somebody's called that in. I mean, there are forms that you can get that you can print out too to report stuff that comes off that radio, and they're official forms. But you get a form and you fill it out. So and so's in trouble. Da, 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 da. I'm not gonna tell you. So what do you do? Okay, well you get the form, and then I'm supposed to try and find somebody, or me, can jump on a bicycle or whatever, and get it to you.
So, Brother Flores, if someone was interested in it, how much would be the license, and how much would be the license, and how much would be one of those just for entry level equipment for someone to have at their home? Just a ballpark figure. I don't expect you to be right on the money.
This radio right here,
Yeah.
you can buy on Amazon for about $25.
The top one.
Yeah.
You said that's for California.
It's just local. It's just that it's lower power.
Yeah.
You can get these for $12, $13, $14, $15.
You said $25 for that.
Yeah, for this one.
How much would a license be?
License don't cost anything.
Huh.
A license will cost you if you go down and you take a class.
Yeah.
That class will cost you. The license, if they charge to give you the test,
Yeah.
$10.
How long is the license good for?
10 years.
Oh wow. $1 a year, that's not bad.
You want to know?